I look back at a year like 2008, and I look at some of these pay-per-views, and WWE really did a damn good job in 2008. I don't know what made it so good, like one big reason, but it just was. They had a lot of good stories. They had a lot of good pay-per-views. I mean, you look at the first 3 pay-per-views of the year, and you're like, wow, this year is going to be really damn good. You had Royal Rumble 2008 in the Garden. You had WrestleMania 24, which was pretty solid. And you had No Way Out 2008 dead smack in the middle, which, honestly, was a really good show. This was around the time when WWE was starting to do multiple Elimination Chamber matches to determine the champions, and B, the challengers going into WrestleMania, which was a good concept up until now. I just don't like it now. But I look back at the show. There were some matches that when you look on paper, you're like, but ultimately, they produced. This show had, other than one match, pretty much produced the entire way. You kick off with Chavo Guerrero versus CM Punk for the ECW Championship. You know, they did some good stuff over there in ECW with Chavo and Punk. I think the match was really good. CM Punk dressed up as a mariachi band member, smacking Chavo Guerrero with a guitar. And wasn't it Punk who also threw Chavo into the Gulf of Mexico? Good times, good times. You know, as bad as ECW was back when WWE revived it, they did some good stuff. This match was really damn good. Good opener to the show. Chavo goes over, which is good. This sets up CM Punk winning Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 24. Sadly for Chavo, this also sets up the I think it was 8-second Kane versus Chavo match at WrestleMania 24. So, yeah, this match was good, and then I look after that, and it's like, wow, like, CM Punk got skyrocketed to the moon, and then Chavo's like, wow, this is terrible. Because honestly, Chavo versus Kane, WrestleMania 24, good God. And then you get to the first of the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, this one for the World Championship opportunity at WrestleMania 24. You have Undertaker, you have Batista, you have Finlay, MVP, Great Khali, and Big Daddy V. And that rhymed, if any of you did not realize. But this match I liked a little bit less than the Raw main event, and basically because you had 2 big guys in the match, and one of them was the Great Khali, and I mean, yeah, you could have put them in the chamber match, which is fine, but just putting them in that match kind of slowed the pace down, and that's not something you're supposed to do in an Elimination Chamber match. But this match was really damn good. Undertaker goes over, which is good. This sets up Undertaker versus Edge at WrestleMania 24, which in my opinion was a really damn good WrestleMania main event. I'll give it that one. Then you get to the career-threatening match between Ric Flair and Mr. Kennedy. And this whole concept of the next time Flair loses, he retires, was gold. And I think that Flair's pay-per-view matches, the one against MVP at the Royal Rumble was really damn good. And now you get to the Ric Flair versus Kennedy match at No Way Out, and it was really damn good. And then you have, this eventually sets up Flair's inevitable retirement at WrestleMania 24, and once again, it was really damn good. So, I have no complaints about this match. Sure, it's not a 5-star classic technical masterpiece, but are you going to get that out of Ric Flair in 2008? No, you're not. Just putting it out there. One match I did not like, and it's not because, and I understand why it went this length of time, but the match lasted 5 minutes, and it was the world title match between Edge and Mysterio. I understand Rey was hurt, but then again, why go with the match then? Just, you could have found something to do with Edge, or could have went the pay-per-view without having the world title defended. I would have been fine with that. Or you could have had him defend in an Elimination Chamber match. Could have taken Finlay out of there and put Edge in there and defend the world title. You know, that would have been fine. And then at the end, the final 3 could be Edge, Batista, and Undertaker. And then with shenanigans, Edge defeats both of them and sets up Edge versus Taker. You could have did it that way, but I liked the way they did it, though. The match wasn't that good. I get it that Rey was hurt, but he did whatever he could, so I respect that out of him. Then you get to the match that I hated on this show, and hated it for good reasons, because I look back at the Royal Rumble in 2008, and the match itself was damn good, but now that I look back at No Way Out, the Royal Rumble match, it didn't really mean much. Especially that year, because you had John Cena cash in the Rumble spot at No Way Out. It just did not make sense to me. And this match ended by disqualification with John Cena winning. It just didn't need to happen. You could have found another thing to do with Orton. You could have found another thing to do with Cena. Hell, have Cena make the decision of who he's going to pick and not do that match. Let's pretend like he did not pick who he was going to face at WrestleMania. You can build up to John Cena making his decision at No Way Out, and you could have just went with that instead of doing 2 title matches. And you could have made some of the undercard matches longer. You could have made Flair versus Kennedy longer. You could have made Chavo versus CM Punk longer. You know, honestly, both of these world title matches shouldn't have happened, because Rey was hurt, and Orton versus Cena was fucking pointless. And it set up an even more forgettable triple threat match at WrestleMania 24. Then you close the show out with the second of the 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and this one for the WWE title shot. You have Triple H, you have Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho, Umaga, and JBL. So, in terms of star power, this match is stacked. And I like this match better than I do the first one, because like I said, in the first one you had Great Khali and Big Daddy V in there, and that kind of slowed the pace down. And in a match like the Elimination Chamber, you really don't want to do that, because the crowd needs to be energized the whole match, because you're going to give all these spots, and you're going to do all these things, and there might be a potential to have some blood and juice, and you know. I just think that this match went a lot faster than the first match. Ultimately, this match was really damn good. Deserved to main event the show. Triple H going over, yeah, I actually liked that. Because you didn't really know what you were going to do with Jericho at that point. JBL had his own feud going into WrestleMania 24, which was stupid. You had Umaga. You already had the plans for all these guys. So I guess Triple H going into the WWE title match was fine. But I look back at it, and Cena won the Rumble, so why are you putting another guy in the WWE title match? If you were ultimately going to put Cena back in the title match at WrestleMania. It just didn't make sense to me. But this match was pretty damn good. The show was pretty damn good. And this was the second great show on, in my opinion, a really good year for WWE.